COVID-19, they have found a vaccine. We saw a rising wedge pattern in the Forex market. The market then released on the breaking news, and we enjoyed the benefits. You can search for this pattern on Google, Rising Wedge Pattern. We've written about the trendline breakout in a book. We're going to show you how we traded it. Here's a disclaimer, it's required by law. And just so you know, we enter all trades with risk. Let's get to it. Right, here you go, guys. This was another beautiful trade. And, these trades are so simple when you really think about it. It takes a lot of work to understand them, agreeably. But you put a trend line on and you can easily see what happened, why we got a trade, and how we went on to take profit. What we're going to do before we put a lipstick on, something we love to do together, is we're going to review the trade and see where and why and how. Interesting, this is the hourly chart. We're going to look on the 50-minute. Doesn't it even look that much more beautiful? I mean, that's a long trend line, but when you break it down to the 50, you can see, oops, there's an up. Oh, that's a fake out there, is it? Or is it an opportunity? There's pips made in there. And then there's another one there. You can see how you can just break it down. But anyway, before we go into too much here, let's just clear the chart off and let's just look at this. Let's get the big scoop to see what's really going on. We're trading from the 15-minute chart, as most of you know, and what we can see here is this huge upswing here that broke this high. This was an important level, okay? This also over here was an important level, but you see what happens sometimes? It breaches the level, right? So just as it did that here, and this is just beautiful, right? Look at that, it breached the level and then it came all the way back down, okay? Here it respected the level, see? So you're just looking for where we're getting some form of respect on the level that the market. Now I go to the daily chart. We're on the daily chart right now. I mean, if you're an absolute newbie, let me just try and point out in a little bit more detail so you can see this. We're on the daily chart, okay? And the currency pair we're trading is a New Zealand CAD. Look, it says right there. It's the daily chart. Okay, so we're on the daily chart. Now, these fractals on the daily chart can be quite meaningful on the lower time frames, pure and simple. So this is a swing high, this is a swing high, this is a swing high, swing high, right? Swing low, swing high, okay? So you see a fractal there, you see an obvious swing high as you do here, okay? So of course, when you're planning the trade, because that's what we do. We don't just enter a trade. We plan out our trades. This is one move. It does not want to move there. We copy that trend line there. So when price came here, look at that. It just breached right the way through. That looked like a stop right now. That little bitty stop right now. Let's have a look at that. That dropped down 80 pips. That's a trade right there. Remember, we trade from day to day. Then it broke higher and it broke higher. So this one here, you see there's a fractal there? Look, that's another swing high then, isn't it? On the daily chart. Do you see that? Right? Now, you learn to trade in hindsight. So you have to look to the past to understand the future. Now, what happened here? We went down, and then we broke up. So we broke this level, we broke this level. This one here, I would argue, would be next, right? Okay, well, what do? We broke through that just as we did these, look, right? So there's a good chance that in the same way as once we breached the levels we dropped, that could now happen again, having breached this level. And there's also another fractal there. This is one of the more detailed training videos, guys. So it broke through two fractals there. Okay, fine. So that's what we're looking at, okay? We've got to respect the trade. Now, we're going to drop down. You drop down to the 4-hour chart. I mean, you can see there's where the breach was. It went up. That's just how easy this strategy is, okay? We drop to the hourly chart. We want a bit more clarity, a little bit more, okay? And we see like, hang on a minute. So it's breach. What can we do here? Okay, let's just put a trend line on. Who knows what's going to happen? All right. Who knows what's going to happen? We do. We know it's going to break at some point. When is it going to happen? Well, it happens when it happens, right? And then it did happen. We dropped the 15-minute chart. I mean, this trade is so beautiful that the trend line is broken. And then you put the lipstick on. Now, you really have to know these trades are going to happen, okay? So you got entry 1, and I'll show you how. It's a bit big. Let's just reduce that to 12. Entry 1. Entry number 2. And what we do a take profit 1. Okay. And then we do take profit number 2. Right. And so just from here to here, 68. Now, if you got in here, now how could you have got in here? Perhaps you saw and you said, oh, that's a trend line break. And then you applied the strategy here. Okay. If you applied the strategy there, notice the difference. Okay. Your stop loss is up here. So it did not get hit. You got the entry 1, you got the entry 2, right? Right. And you got your entry 1, entry, you got your take profit 1, you got your take profit 2. And then if you had your runner, you was in for it. This was just heavenly bliss, wasn't it? Take profit 1, take profit 2. Okay, this is your runner. Runner, take profit 3. These trades take a lot of practice, guys. Don't think you see me doing this here. Oh, so this takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of practice to do this, okay? It takes a lot of practice to do this, okay? And the thing that's running against you is time, okay? Time. These don't show up every day in the market. It shows up every few weeks, at least every month, but it doesn't show up every day. And when you see it, you've got to have patience to wait. For example, this broke. This in the UK is night. So this is these lines here. That's 10 o'clock at night, right? 10, 11. So around this is evening. I could be relaxing with the family. Then wake up in the morning and like, good Lord, this trade's on its way. Time, see, time and time. But that's the strategy played out again, guys. Did it not? Isn't that what we do? Isn't that how we mark up the chart? Right? That's just what we do. Okay. And it happens time and time and time and time again. And interestingly, we were in the hold a minute. We were in the group, and we did say just one second, let me find it. Okay, so we did say, if you take a look here in the group chat, we did make a mention of the New Zealand pairs, and you can see that here, can't you? This is November 30th, so of the week where we got this beautiful break, watching the New Zealand and Aussie pairs. And we was getting some movement on the Aussie pair. And then as time went on, just more and more started to happen. We see here on this day, we was doing, I don't know if you can see that, but applying the strategy. We made 5% on this particular day. And this is just what we do, guys. We'll make a note, a brief note about what we expect to be happening. Other traders will post what they see happening and why. Okay, and you know, this is what happens, and then you know, boom, bang, connect. Typically within days. Here's another video that I did post in there. Typically within days, look, locking in trades. Typically within days, we'll reach profit. Typically, that is what happens. That's what we do. And also, you can Google. I mean, it's not that difficult, really. Sometimes we post these things and you think, oh my Lord. You can Google Rising Wedge Pattern, and what you'll see is that what we traded today, or what the trade that took place this week was a trade. You can Google it, and you know what you see is that typically, yeah, these are the things that's happening. Look at that break, right? Rising wedge. It happens in stock market, happens in Forex. You know, and when it happens because you've traded it, man, it's a great feeling. So guys, this is a beautiful trade, exceptionally beautiful. In fact, I'd give it a phenomenal rating. There are several additional pairs that will be setting up this week. The New Zealand yen, for example. Shall we have a quick look? Guys, so there are other pairs on the New Zealand side of things that are setting up. This one just took off. It's got to the 200. Now, it could break through or it could bounce. Okay, bounce, give us a double top, then come down. The New Zealand Swiss, now as you can see, that made, oh Lord, look, that made a beautiful break down. This one, let's have a look. The New Zealand dollar. Let's have a look. Notice I got my strategy already set up there. You can easily just right. So the New Zealand dollar is another one. I think this one's a bit tricky. This one's gonna go. This one's gone. Come on. If you compare that to it's hit the 200 again. What can happen here is you know, and this is what you got to be careful of is you can get a bounce, right? So it's come down. It could break straight through, but if it did that, it would have the angle would be more like the New Zealand CAD, like what we just saw. So my thinking on this one is more, and of course anything can happen. I mean, if I knew exactly what I'd be a billionaire. It could go up, then come down. Okay. But it could also, if it just breaks through this level right now, retest, and that'd be the 200 MA, and then down. And it could do a retest going across like that, then come down, see? But it is coming down. That's the thing. Sometimes I've seen this is New Zealand dollar, right? Yeah. Sometimes I've seen it go way back up here, do a stop run on that, right? And then come down. But it hasn't happened yet. Let you know, this bad boy is coming down. That's all there is to it. It's coming down. Okay. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I enjoy doing these videos. Please like, subscribe, share, and more importantly, leave a comment in the comment section below in the YouTube video, in the YouTube description. Let me know your thoughts, if there's a particular pair that you like, or if you have any questions, leave it in the comments and I'll be sure to reply. I want to thank you guys once again. I do appreciate your time and see you on the next recording. Thank you much. Bye-bye.